Hi guys, my name's Dan and welcome to Dakes Gaming. Today we are going to cover the patch notes that have been released from People Can Fly, detailing about the patch which happened this afternoon at 2 o'clock British time. And yeah, let's get into it. So let's get on to cheaters and hackers. People Can Fly identified that only a very small amount of people actually did this. I think it worked out around 200 people in total, and unless those people permanently delete their characters, items, and then make a fresh start, they will be permanently branded throughout the game, which means that they won't be able to matchmake, they won't be able to do anything else but solo play, so this would be quite unappealing to those who actually want to get the full experience of the game. They will also find that their accounts will be watermarked, which will actually identify them as cheaters, because some person decided that they would be clever and give themselves 600 legendaries, which is probably slightly above average, to be honest, especially during a beta version, but that's just my opinion. And then basically post-launch, you're going to find that the accounts will be checked prior to the launch to make sure that people aren't cheating, and then regular checks will take place afterwards to make sure that the standards are met, which for me personally, I'm very happy to hear this because I'm a big advocate of fair play, and you know, if we all stick to the rules, why should someone else be able to break them? So all in all, it's pretty good. A few things that you might want to hear about, just because it was noted, is that farming is not considered cheating, obviously, and smashing the captains and marksmans is only considered unethical. However, not that bothered really. As for people who use the glitch to exploit the shop to get epic items, they won't be penalised either. However, if people do this more regularly, then this would be considered cheating, and then you would be marked on the account, which obviously is something which you would probably not want to do. So with the legendary restoration that happened today, what's going to happen is that any legendary items that were lost prior to the 22nd of March will be restored. Now this only applies to items that were in your inventory, and it won't actually help people who found that they crashed before picking up the items because they weren't able to register that on the player themselves. Now this system is not perfect, and some people are not going to get their legendary items back. It's just unfortunately the way things are, but hopefully a large majority of people will get their items back, and this will give people a belief that People Can Fly can actually maintain the game properly and also cater to people's requirements. However, this all stemmed off the bug where the autosave was not working properly, and when people logged out of the game, they were losing items, while other people experienced crashes when picking up items on different platforms. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's definitely an improvement, and hopefully this will make a big difference towards people's attitudes towards the game, especially if they lost a lot of progress, because if that happened to me, I would probably want to quit as well. Okay, so on day one, we're going to see a patch come in which will address quite a few things which have been mentioned through the beta. Now, this will focus on the camera shake reduction through camera smoothing improvements. There will be cutscene and dialogue frame rate improvements. PC players can choose between 30 to 120 FPS. Now, I think this is going to be based on the specifications of their PCs. So if they have a basic PC, obviously the lesser frames per second will be allowed, whereas if they had a proper gaming rig, then they'd be able to reach 120 frames per second. The next gen consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, will be locked in at 60 frames per second, whereas the PS4 and older versions of the Xbox will be locked in at 30 frames per second. So the launch times are based on regional times. It will launch midnight 1st of April in the UK, and then at different times for everyone else. America will see a 4-hour delay across the board, so that means that it's based on Eastern time, and that anyone that's on Pacific time will be able to actually get onto the game earlier than midnight, which will be 9 PM in the evening. So with the preloading, Xbox is going to get a first dibs on doing this, which has been done today. So anyone that's on Xbox will be able to preload the game as of now. I think this is mainly because of Game Pass and a deal that might be put in place by Microsoft. And then PS5 and PS4 will be able to get it 48 hours prior to launch. It isn't available on Steam at the moment, however this is to be decided by People Can Fly, so I'm sure there will be an update in the next week where you'll be told if that's going to be applicable. And anyone that's using the Epic Game Store, this is not available and you'll just have to download it when it's 5 PM British time on April 1st. So some other key fixes that are being put in place. A quick mark function for deleting items has been done. They have made an improvement to travel voting in groups and also bug fixes to mods on legendary weapons which were not previously activating. Most importantly, there will be no more need to do World Tier 5 grinding for legendaries due to incoming higher world tiers and crafting. Anyway, post-launch they're going to do some more patches which are going to improve on certain aspects of the game. So this is going to mean that controllers are going to have adjustments to certain aspects of it. There's also going to be loading time improvements for older gen consoles, improvements to multiplayer, cross-play friends list through Square Enix accounts, which I think will be really welcomed because there wasn't really a clear way of doing this at the moment. There's going to be bug fixes for lore collectibles on alternative characters and much more. Hopefully that will be done in the near future. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching the video. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video and found it informative, please press the like button. And if you want to hear more about Outriders when the game comes out, then do subscribe to the channel as I will be covering it in full. And I will catch you on the next one.